Kia ora, and welcome to our CyberSmart Challenge extension task. Now, this is based on the Challenge 7, Google Draw Your Fish. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend it a little bit. So this will be based on you've already created your fish. That'll be the first thing you need to have done. And now you could have had a full, your full poster created, but all we're really going to need in this is the fish. So what you can do is you can actually select your fish and you can actually copy and paste it onto a new Google drawing if you want to. Or if you're like me and you haven't started it, you could just create a new one. Okay, now what we want is one fish on our Google Draw, and we can change the colors of that fish later if we want to. So once we've created our fish, we're going to download this as a PNG file. Okay, it's really important that we download it as the PNG and not other things. We could use a scalable vector graphics, SVG. However, that can get a little bit tricky when you're trying to edit it within Scratch. So we're going to use PNG. It downloads, and then we're going to go and open up a new Scratch project, and you'll see that you have a cat down here when you first open up. Don't worry about that. You can delete that cat. We're not going to use it. Now, what we're going to do is, first off, we need to title our Scratch project. So this is going to be Fish Animation. Okay, and we're going to be learning how to actually use this costume area. So first thing we're going to need to do is upload our sprite. So we're going to go to choose sprite, and we're going to go up to upload sprite. Now we're going to find the file that we just downloaded, and we're going to import that. And you'll see that it will come up as a sprite within Scratch. Now this is cool. So now we've got our fish in there, we can actually start creating this animation. So a couple of things we're going to want to do is we're going to have to use the backdrops to create, or just to select a backdrop that is appropriate for a fish underwater. Now, I personally prefer to create my own backdrops, and I think that would be really cool. However, if you're limited on time, you could use Underwater 1 or Underwater 2. That would be fine. And you can see that it's not too bad looking. Right, they're pretty good. However, if you want to create your own backdrop, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to this area where it says choose a backdrop, and you're going to go to paint. And we're going to be using this costume area, and it's very similar to Google Drawing, but just a lot more limited. There's only two shapes you can use and a bunch of lines, and your basic paint and text functions. So this will come out a little bit more less detailed than probably what you could get out of Google Draw. However, it doesn't mean that it's going to create a bad, DLO. This will be interactive. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start off by just painting in some different objects. So just change my brightness down to 0 so I get a black color, and use my paint brush, and I'm just going to draw in some sand and some rocks. Now I need to make sure this is all connected, and I can connect it outside the draw zone and that should be fine as well. So this is going to be probably a rock. So I'm going to put some little holes in it, make it look a little bit more rocky. And then obviously I'm going to change the color to something that's a little bit more gray, or it could be brown, or whatever color you really want for the rock. I might go a little bit orangey. That's pretty good. All right, and then I want to select fill. I'm going to fill my rock. So that's my underwater rock. And then for my background, I'm just going to have blue. So I'm just going to find a nice blue. I might need to change it to bitmap so that I can color in the rest of it. Okay, and change back to vector. Vector means I can select my individual parts. However, once I've changed it to bitmap, you can see it's a full image now. So it's just handy sometimes to cross back and forth. I can drag that down a bit if I want to, so I don't have that white in there. And then I can move this up. Now I'm going to put some seaweed in. So change my colors so that they're a bit seaweedy.